So my bookshelves are a mess and I've had enough. Every time I get them into some sense of order, it's only a matter of time before they descend back into the depths of chaos. And I may have let it go a bit too far this time. At the end of last year, I truly dumped anything and everything on these shelves as a form of quick storage. And overall, it's just become hard to browse, to find certain books. I don't even know if I have any space for new books, and I haven't been able to go through my books to see if there's any I'd like to remove. Additionally, there's random bits of clutter that adds to the mess. And now my stress just feels like a sim who can't get through a door because there's a chair in the way. I've spent over a year building these bookshelves, organizing the books, and getting this office space into a state where I can function. But now I feel like this is going to be the time where I can actually make this into a home library that I can be proud of. So welcome back, besties, or hello if you're new. My name is Joel, and today we're going to be decluttering and reorganizing my home library so that I can finally start getting my life together. But first of all, I need a cup of coffee. Oh my god, that hits the spot. So before we go into the process of fully decluttering my bookshelves, I think it's important to give a quick history of my home library. I made a video going over the process of building and initially organizing my bookshelves back when I first moved in late 2022. And I really loved that video as I had so much fun making it and seeing the process of those shelves just coming to life. But it was also in that video where I realized
I can fit another shelf. You were so unhinged.
So in the months that followed, I built more shelves for my translated fiction, historical fiction, and contemporary books. Then I built more shelves for my YA paperbacks and ARCs. Then I built even more shelves above my desk for my writing and craft books. And then more recently, I built these two bookshelves to properly store my non-fiction and then moved my classics, contemporary reads, and historical fiction downstairs. So after all that, here are the current issues that I'm having with the bookshelves. I currently have empty shelves that need to be sorted because I've just thrown random things on here in order to clear the floor space, and yeah, as you can tell, why is PVA glue on here? There's just a lot of random stuff. Plus, there are definitely books here that I'm either no longer interested in reading or duplicates, so I either need to sell them or put them into storage. I also have these boxes in the corner of my office that need to be sorted because it's covering up the dark academia area that I tried to set up. There are just so many random books dotted around the office that I really want to be able to find them all at home so I can finally sort out my TBR cart for 2024. Speaking of, I also need to clear that off and ensure that the books on there also have a home of their own as well. So now that we've covered my bookshelf related issues, be sure to have your beverage of choice and snacks at the ready as we work on confronting these together today. Or well, tomorrow for me, because I'm gonna need a whole day to do these shelves. Good morning, besties. Don't mind the spot sticker, I'm having a bit of an aggressive spot at the minute. So in the spirit of incorporating more of my interests, here is my outfit of the day. It's giving bookseller, giving librarian, giving book dragon, you know? So today we're gonna be decluttering the books in this room and I'm so looking forward to it. I think if I work efficiently, I should have this done within a few hours, but I'm recording this and also I'm neurodivergent, so we'll see how long this takes. So the plan of action to declutter is to take these books off the shelves, I know, and organize them into their various genres across the room. We'll also be removing the clutter from the shelves and other places as well so that can happen. I'm also going to take my desk chair out and then use the underneath to store my PC case because that's a big box. Then I'll go through each genre and see if there's any books that I'd like to unhaul and then get the books ready to be placed back onto the shelves. It's kind of like I'm doing a bookshelf audit and my brain really likes the sound of that, and I don't know if it's necessarily the best way, but it works for me and that's all the validation I need. So without further ado, let's get started. To go into here. You can go up there for a second. Okay, so I finished kind of going through these shelves here and also the floor and clearing that of junk. So now I'm gonna start organizing the books on the piles into their respective areas. And I think doing it bit by bit as opposed to like clearing all of the junk out first, then doing it is just gonna be easier because there is some stuff behind these shelves that I can't access yet. So we're gonna do that. Translate fiction. Adult fantasy is gonna have to go like here. Romance. This is also adult. So when I was in New York, I set out on a quest to find this cover of A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers because this cover is absolutely beautiful and it slays. I wanted it to replace the UK cover because what is this? This does not give. This does not slay. Why is there blood coming out of this pineapple? So, this cover stays. I also have like this copy of The Great Gatsby, which also has a Shakespeare & Company stamp on the inside because I got it when I went to France last year. It's time to clear off the TBR card. Downstairs, YA, horror, thriller. I've come to realize a lot of the books that are on here are supposed to go downstairs. And I don't know if I have any space downstairs. So Oliver just came and delivered some much needed sustenance whilst I'm doing all of this. So we have a coffee, because God, I need the caffeine. He can do latte art really well, and it's a heart, or like a flower. We have a ham and cheese sandwich, because I haven't eaten since breakfast this morning because I've been so like hyperfixated on this. So we're gonna get some sustenance back. I'm gonna wheel this out of the room now so I have more space to work on these books. So Oliver has asked to get bookshops and bone dust because he recently just finished Lattes and Lattes.
Oh my god, I'm really good at Jenga.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is a special edition. I'm definitely considering doing a read and ranked of Emily Henry's books at some point because I did just get the arc of Funny Story, and so it definitely would be interesting to see how all of these would stack up against one another. I think right now what's important is that I go through the adult books right here whilst these books are on the shelves so that I can take off like any duplicates or any books that I don't want to put on the shelves, and then I can bring those down and go through them as well afterwards and then alphabetize. So I'm gonna do that. Such a good book! I think it's bad that I'm also making like a mental shopping list as I'm going through all of these books, being like, oh, I still need to get the sequels to those. No. Such a good series. Why do I own so many books? So I just finished going through my adult SFF, and that is all ready to now go back on the shelves once I finished going through the YA, which I'm doing next. Look here, buddy. Who's a good boy? The time has now come for me to sort through all of the translated fiction, the horror, and the romance, and then I've sorted through all of these books, which then means I can finally then put them back on the shelves. I take a pile at a time and then put them on the floor, and then just go through them, and then the ones I'm keeping put back on the desk. I also really need to get the other volumes of this so I can read them all this year. But also, currently, I'm loving the trend in like East Asian literature of like bookshop books. I already have another edition of this, so I can probably just get rid of this one. Oh! Oh my gosh, I found my old loyalty card from university. So I finally finished going through all of the books and seeing which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to unhaul and which ones I want to put into storage. So now comes the exciting time of putting all of the books back onto the shelves. But first, I need to get changed because I'm feeling super warm in this, and I know it's going to be even warmer once I start putting these books back. So yeah, let's do it. Hello. So essentially we've now taken all of the books, organized them, and we're now ready to put them back onto the shelves, which is super exciting. I'm currently wearing a Gymshark t-shirt and my Dickies work trousers because I need functional fashion, I need motivational fashion, and I think a gym top would really help because putting all of these books back onto the shelves is a huge workout, and I don't think people realize that. And I think the plan that I've got for the way that I want the shelves to look is going to be really good. I'm just hoping that now with the books that I've taken out, we'll have enough space on the shelves. We shall see. I honestly just want to go straight ahead and do this. I'm probably going to work backwards, starting with YA, then going to adult, then probably the other 3 genres. And I'm hoping that with the new layout, I have some extra space for adult SFF because having just that one shelf for it doesn't work for me. So I cannot wait anymore. So let's get started. When I tell you I literally had just enough books to fill this shelf, I am so happy. This does mean I have no more room to expand. Now let's move on to the adult. My plan for the adult books is to expand here and here so that I have the whole of this bookshelf for adult books, because I feel like that would give me the best chance to be able to put all of the books on the shelf because I ran out of adult space so quickly. So I'm hoping having this entire bookshelf to expand will give me enough breathing space. I am just super excited to see how these shelves are coming together. Like, young adult looks awesome, adult looks amazing, and we have extra space for books, which is probably only gonna last like 3 to 4 weeks, but it's extra space. I think after doing both of these shelves, I am feeling really tired, and I don't think I can do more shelves. So I'm gonna go play some Overwatch, and I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow to finish these shelves, and then I can probably work on other parts of the room as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, good morning. Okay, so we're gonna be doing the horror, translated fiction, and romance shelves today, and then hopefully going over to the paperbacks and sorting all of that. I think it's gonna be a good day. I also need to figure out what to do with these 2 shelves. So yeah, let's just dive right on in. I want to read this book soon because it seems so interesting, so I think I'm going to try and read this in the month of March. This is horror done. This is just making me so happy right now, but let's get on to translated fiction. That was a satisfying stick appeal. All we've got left to do now is the romance, which I'm really excited for because I'm just excited to get all of the books in there and see how much space we have for more romance books potentially. I don't know, it's one of the genres that I've been getting into more recently that I've been really loving. They're done. I do still need to do a little bit of like cleaning up, but I'm gonna take a break from these to do the paperbacks because they're a bit more urgent right now, and I really want to just be able to go through them and sift through like my YA. So we're gonna do that because I don't want to have to be around these, and I'd rather be around the paperbacks because they're much lighter to carry. It's weird looking at all of these young adult books now because some of these were books that I read as a kid, and I've kind of grown out a little bit of young adult, but there are still some books sometimes that are like crossovery or like relatable to me that I still love to read. I think part of my issue right now with young adult is mostly to do with adults trying to exist within the young adult space, and this is something that has been going on since like what, 2016, 2014, when young adult rose to prominence and adults were kind of like, I want young adult books written for me, and it's like, no, young adult is not for you. Young adult is for like teenagers, and I think trying to get something out of a space that isn't catered for you kind of then isolates who it's catered for. New adult's a thing that's been trying to happen for many years, but like a lot of the times people just want stuff found in adult books but don't want to read adult books for whatever reason. It honestly baffles me and confuses me. I guess for some people YA is just a safer space than adult, which is understandable, but I feel like the hesitation to read adult books shouldn't be there. But I digress. L, so JKL can be here. So I basically went ahead and did the ARCs and the adult bookshelf. All I've got to really do now is like tidying up and some finishing touches, and then I can give you a tour of my home library. So I just got a very exciting parcel through the door, and I think it's a box set of books I've been highly waiting for a couple of months now, and Oh, it is. It is. But before we do that, let me get the Royal Inverse shelf sorted so that we can see what these are. I would be using these books for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, but my package will replace these. Presenting the Illumicrate editions of Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan, we have Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, the Sea of Monsters, the Titan's Kiss, the Battle of the Labyrinth, and finally, The Last Olympian. These editions are just so gorgeous. Plus, the books all line up side by side to create this spectacular image. And the nakedness, oh my gosh. I am actually in love with the way these books look naked. Like this green one is absolutely gorgeous. And then I think I have enough space to put the original paperbacks right beside it. I've got the lights on in the background and they just look so good. I am actually obsessed with them. They're not as like bright as I wanted to be, and I don't know if they make as big of an impact, but I really like them. I definitely think maybe getting like longer fairy lights so I can put them up and down the shelves maybe, but for now, this is great. This is great. New rug. Oh yeah, no, this is the vibe. This is definitely the vibe. Anyways, hello. I need to move backwards. I'm absolutely in love with this rug. It is literally everything I needed it to be and more, and I'm so glad I made the investment into purchasing this rug from Ruggable because I have been umming and ahhing about getting a rug from them for so long. But I really love Morris's The Strawberry Thief, and I really wanted it in like rug form. It just fits in so well with the vibe. It really helps me feel a lot more cozy and zen, and it's basically been my goal with this space to make it into a place that I can come to relax and work, and I truly feel like this is becoming more like home now, and it's really making me happy because like this space is almost done, really. All that's really left to do now is my desk shelves and the shelves over there, and I'm going to be doing those later because I don't think I have the energy to do them now. So without further ado, I think it's time for the grand reveal. Hello, welcome to my home library. Why don't I give you a little bit of a quick tour? This is an empty TBR cup, which I'll be filling up as soon as I'm back from London. We're gonna start over here. So this is the first shelf. This is young adult, science fiction, fantasy. I really find nowadays that I only really buy young adult hardbacks when they're like special editions. I really wanted to highlight Legendborn by Tracy Dion, a fabulous book that I'll be having a reading vlog of coming soon. Also, the Kyoshi novels. I actually need to get into these because I just watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action. Wasn't the best. I'm tempted to make like a video about it, not like a long form, maybe a long form video. I have a lot of thoughts about the series and the way that the writing worked, but I really want to read the Kyoshi novels because everyone was referencing them in the comment sections of videos that I was watching. It just really made me want to read them more. And then we kind of have my special shelves where I put like specific books there. So on the top we have my Tolkien shelf because Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and The Silmarillion and The Unfinished Tales. Then we have my Greek mythology shelf, my R.F. Kuang shelf because Babel and The Poppy War have wrecked my soul, and R.F. Kuang is one of my favorite novelists of all time. Then we have this shelf, which is my editions of The Roots of Chaos and the Radiant Emperor duology, and just Howl's Moving Castle by here because I thought the colour fit. Then below here on the floor are some of my naked hardbacks because books look good naked. Then these shelves behind me are my adult SFF shelves, and these ones needed the expansion. The shelves speak for itself at how like beautiful they look, and plus we have space for other special editions. This does mean I do have space for more adult SFF, but we'll see how long that lasts. This is a quick shout out to the middle grade shelf. We love having middle grade reads here as well. And sometimes I just want a quick, fast read that is like low stakes and just makes my heart feel warm and fuzzy, and middle grade does just that. And then of course we have the reorganising shelf, because how else am I gonna honor the man, the myth, the uncle, Rick Riordan? Although I am a bit concerned that like I'm probably gonna have to like move these. I'm gonna have to move these paperbacks soon because I'm gonna have to make room for the other books in this trilogy. We shall see, but for now, they look glorious. Here is my horror thriller shelf. Horror is a love of mine that I didn't realize was a love of mine until about like 1 or 2 years ago. And since then, I've literally just been trying to consume as much horror as possible to make up for lost time. A lot of the time it was stuff that I found in fantasy, but didn't realize it was more of a horror aspect until later. My umbrella fell. We now move on to the last 2 shelves of this space, which is my translated fiction and my romance books. I absolutely love translated fiction. I often find that it provides themes and nuances that aren't often found in other kinds of books that I read. And romance has just been such like a nice discovery for me, and just really being able to see what kind of things that I like reading within romance has just been such like an awesome thing to discover. That's basically all of my shelves. Honestly, I'm just super happy with how all of this turned out, and even though it was a long and arduous process, it definitely made up for it at the end, because now I have more room for books. I got to unhaul books that I didn't want or need anymore, and overall it's just been a really good experience to kind of get a lot of the mind clutter out. I feel like it's a really good start in making this home office into a place that I can feel cozy and creative, and this whole thing's really made me consider my own book buying habits. Now, there's a whole topic surrounding consumerism in the bookish community, which I won't be going into, purely because it's a very nuanced topic and I don't feel like I'm well equipped enough to give specific opinions about it yet. I really just want to discuss my own book buying habits and how they've changed. Like last year, I really saw a decline in the amount of books that I was buying. I think that's mostly because 1, I realized I might not have enough space for books anymore, but also 2, I feel like my interest in buying books has gone down. In terms of special editions, I still like collecting some of them if I'm aware of the series, if I know I'm gonna like it. I'm finding now that I also have a Kindle, I've been really like, oh, do I want to purchase like the paperback of this, or do I just want to read it on Kindle? I think that's helped a lot as well with the physical book buying process. I'm not really buying books unless I absolutely want them. I'm taking a similar approach to how I take fashion, for instance. If I'm still thinking about buying that book a day or 2 later, or like a week or 2 later, then I will still buy it. I've become a lot more conscious of how I'm creating content around like hauling culture and stuff like that. You probably will still see some book hauls from me, but probably in the short form. The slow growth is always nicer to see, I think, instead of like, oh hey, here are 50 books that I got this month. So that was my little rant on my own book buying habits. I don't know why I did that, and I cannot wait to film in here. I can't wait to read books in here. I definitely want to get pillows and blankets for the floor just so that I can make it into a really cozy nook, and I do kind of want to try sleeping on this rug because I feel like standing on it now, I feel like it's going to be like a really good base. It feels like a mattress topper if you get me, but I really want to try that, like spending 24 hours in my home library reading as many books as I can. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Like maybe I lock myself in. Well, I can't lock myself in. Maybe I lock myself in my home library for 24 hours with like snacks and stuff and like try and read as many books as I can. That would be a fun video. And so thank you so much for joining me on today's decluttering and reorganizing all of these bookshelves. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know how you organize your shelves in the comment section down below. Let's get a discussion going, maybe a little bit of a debate. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, welcome. I'd love for you to subscribe so that you can see whatever I upload next. Be sure to join our Discord so you can join our lovely community of people and our Fable book club, where this month we'll be reading Family Meal by Brian Washington, and I'm working on doing April, May and June's book picks as well, so if you have any recommendations for those, let me know. And yeah, you'll find all of my other socials in the description down below, and now I'll be taking a million photos of this bookshelf to put on Instagram. So I guess until the next time, bye besties.